This is a fun one for me to deliver, everyone, because I'm bringing on my friend Gerry, who I originally met as a book coaching client, but through the process, we really hit it off, became friends. And now this book that is gonna be a bestseller, undoubtedly, in my mind. He put his heart and soul into it, is ready to be released today. While the episode is out, pull out your phone in another tab, put it on speaker, go to Amazon and check out this book. Gerry, thank you so much for stopping by That Entrepreneur Show.
Thanks for having me, Vincent. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the kind words.
Oh, it's going to be a great episode. Everyone, before I even bring him back on and preview this book, he is an expert in all things attracting employees, recruiting employees, and retaining employees. So if you run your own show, this is an episode you really want to pay attention to. Plus, in addition to talking about his business, we're going to learn all about this book, which can become a very valuable resource for you as you start to scale and scale correctly. Gerry, before we talk about the actual book, what led you to write this book? What was your motivation for finally putting all your wisdom out to the world?
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. So the book is called Destination Employer, and it's all about, as you'd already said, Vincent, how to attract, recruit, and retain the top talent in your market. My consulting company, RedBeard Solutions, has been helping our member companies do that for years, but it became clear that an additional resource for companies was necessary. So I made the choice to boil down all the things that we do in a successful engagement and put it in written format. And I'm really excited to share it. This is gonna change lives.
It certainly is. Who would you say the ideal reader is? Who is this book really designed for?
Great question. So the methodology applies to any size business and scales as you grow. But we targeted the book specifically to startups, scale ups, and early stage companies. Those are the companies that unfortunately don't always have the resources necessary to implement the tools that the bigger companies do. And this is a way for them to work around that and, frankly, beat them at their own game.
I love how you put that there. I learned so much from Gerry in this process. It was like a master class on this subject area, which is why I'm eager to see this book finally get released. Gerry, we already talked about the three phases: attraction, recruitment, retention. For a firm out there who is in this category, they're ready to pick up your book, but is struggling in that first phase, what is a tip they can start utilizing right off the bat?
What a great question. So, the number one thing, especially if the talent you're trying to reach are hard to find or very much in demand, is to find out the places they are. Find out what groups they're in, what associates they're in, and associations are in, and create a presence in that space. Don't try to fish across an ocean. That's too much space. Find a small pond with a lot of your fish in it. That's the key.
Such great advice. Even my own example with my story starting out as a speaker, I'm like, this can affect everybody. But then once your network and referrals dry up, you're not really focused, you're not targeted, and people will recognize that. Something I love about Gerry's book is the authenticity in it. The fact that everything he said is truly and authentically him. I think that will be very evident as you go ahead and pick this book up. Now let's shift to a tip for the next phase, Gerry. Someone's really struggling in the recruitment phase. What's the first thing they should do?
What a great question. So, you actually mentioned one of the keys a second ago. You talked about your personal network. And nearly every founder I've ever spoken to starts their recruitment efforts there. And well, they should. That's obvious. And then as they grow a founding team, they expand it to their network as well. But here's something people forget about networks. Networks aren't just who you know, it's who you know knows. So when you're reaching out to that network, before you do anything else, ask them for who else they know. If I were talking to you, Vincent, I might say, "Hey, Vincent, I'm trying to fill an AI developer role, somebody strong in Python. I know you're busy. I know you're engaged. Can you tell me who the top three people you would choose if you were me are?" Get that second round of referrals and then look beyond that to other strategies.
That's another great point right there. And this is the network that's right in front of us. It's just doing things in a different way at times that can really move the needle. I've already learned so much again. I'm so happy that we're able to connect again. But for that last phase, if now they're starting to get the hang of the recruitment, they're bringing on employees, but they're leaving in 2 months, they're leaving in 3 months. I learned from Gerry that you actually don't make money off an employee until a certain amount of time after that investment's been fulfilled. How can we improve this area?
Great question. The amount of time an employee needs to stay with your organization in order for them to be profitable varies by role and project. But regardless, it's simple to say the longer they stay, the better. The way that we do that is very simple. We need to make sure from the beginning, number one, they're a cultural match for our company. Regardless of skill set, if their personality, if their personal mission isn't in alignment with our organizational one, they're not going to stay. There's not a reason for them to. Secondarily, once we've done that and they come aboard, we need to make sure that we map out what they're trying to achieve in their career and we feed that. We help them get to that next step. People stay with an organization where they feel heard, they're growing in their job and ideally in their career with your company beyond that job, and they feel fulfilled by the mission that they're accomplishing. Those are the three secrets to keeping people long term.
That was something I really appreciated hearing your perspective on and your insight, where you're not just making a hire for right now. You're helping this employee see out their career path. You're doing them that extra service because it also helps you place them in the correct role. And as you mentioned, when they feel fulfilled and they feel heard, they're going to stay with you. These are all great tips, Gerry. What is one more thing you want someone to know about your book, who's learning about you for the first time on my podcast today? Something we didn't cover yet about the book that reason they should pick it up right away.
Awesome. Great question. One more note on something you said a moment ago. I know it was
Great.
hypothetical and illustrative for our conversation, but you mentioned those employees are bouncing out in a month, 2 months, 3 months. If that's happening to you consistently, there's a nearly 100% chance that whoever is doing your recruiting for you is not making sure that they're in cultural alignment. Or frankly, they're feeding them a bill of goods about what the role is. I hope it's not the latter. But if they're not a cultural match, they'll generally bounce pretty quickly. But the thing about my book that I'd like to think is different, that I think will really resonate with an audience, is this. None of this is hypothetical. I've been in this space for 25 years. I've been consulting for more than 10. I've worked with companies from 2 guys in a basement all the way up through publicly traded. And I've taken companies from the founder's kitchen table through a 9-figure exit. So these are all real world examples of things that I've done and seen done. And I'm bringing them targeted specifically towards a startup and early stage community, because you folks are the most important companies in our country. Everybody thinks about the big giant tech companies and the unicorns, but the reality is the startups are what employ the majority of the world. This is the most important market that there is.
And it's a fun market to be in. Of course, it can get stressful at times, but so can everything else. I wouldn't choose any other way. We're always putting out fires. That's just what is natural to us, and it keeps us going. Otherwise, we'd probably just be bored. But Gerry, I've had a great time getting to learn about your book and introducing you to my audience. But before we sign off, I do want to shed some light on your business. You have a great company, very, very successful there. And then now you saw a time to supplement that with the book. Tell us a little more about RedBeard.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. RedBeard Solutions is a consulting company whose mission, frankly, is to ensure that you are able to succeed at yours. So we help to implement what the book teaches. We teach companies to consistently attract, recruit, and retain top talent. We engage in a number of different ways, everything from employer and individual brand as it relates to talent acquisition, retention strategies. Heck, we even created the industry's first recruitment and retention as a service program. So we can engage with companies. Our largest companies are some of the largest management consulting companies in the world and Fortune 100 companies, straight through startups. But the book is focused on startups. And I'm very excited to announce, I believe for the first time anywhere, that we've also created a course of the same name, the Destination Employer Program, that's designed to help companies do the same engagement that my company would do on their own for a fraction of the cost. So you can engage with us through our book. You can engage with us through our program, which will be available in March. Or if you're looking for hands-on consulting assistance, reach out to us right now. We're ready and eager.
You took the question out of my mouth. I was going to say, this ambitious man's got something else he is ready to release. It was a late addition to the back of the book. So again, if you're in the book, there might be a little something special in there for you. I'm not going to give it away because I want you to go ahead and pick up the book, but there is an opportunity to have a little different take with the course. It's been great to get to see this whole thing progress, unravel, and now you're your company have these extra parts under your umbrella, the book, the course, his private services. Where can we find you online? Where can we say hello to request some information about these services or just add you to their network?
Yeah, the easiest place to find me is probably LinkedIn. I'm extremely active there. You can reach me through my website, the RedBeard Solutions website. My contact information is in the book. I'll be honest, if you can't find me, you're not looking. I'm probably the easiest person to find you can imagine.
Oh, man. Well, it's been a great episode, as I knew it would be. Everyone out there, be sure to go support his book. It releases today on Amazon, and help yourself become a company that is a destination employer. The show is at That Entrepreneur Show, and I am at Vincent A. Lancy. Be sure to head to Vincent A. Lancy on YouTube and subscribe to me there, because there will be some video clips from this show surfacing throughout this month. A lot of great stuff today, Gerry. Thanks so much for stopping by.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Vincent. And real quick, let me flip the tables one more time and say, if you're looking for somebody to help you put your thoughts into a cohesive, ordered book, look no further than Vincent. He helped me to create this book. This book would not be what it is without his help. I'm not an organized mind by nature, and he helped me get there. So you're in good hands if you look at Vincent for a book coach.
I appreciate it, Gerry. Everyone out there, our relationship is built literally off a book coaching experience, and ours can too. I'd love to add you to my network. info@vincentalancy.com for all coaching inquiries. But for now, we are signing off here. Gerry, thanks so much.
You're welcome, Vincent. Have a great day, my friend.